Okay, you mentioned that you spoke with several of the children, but what is your plan to address the disrespect of these children? Are we going to a zero tolerance, or do you have an alternate plan?
Yeah, I don't believe in zero tolerance. I like to call it sub-zero tolerance, as I did at the previous school, because kids are they're not dumb. They know what teachers, as you remember when you went to high school, you remember what teachers you could get away with a lot of stuff. You know what teachers you could be late to, and you know what teachers you had to be on time to. So I'm standing with the staff. All right? I've been meeting with deans of instruction for the last 2.5 months, even before July 1st when I started. I've been coming up here once a week on Wednesdays. I met with them. We came up with some common rules, and respect is crucial. I'm the old-fashioned kind of principal. Remember the olden days? A teacher was on a pedestal. Nowadays they hit him with a pedestal. We want to make sure that they are respected, and respect is the #1 rule that I'm going to emphasize and push with the staff. I know when I was a teacher, I would stand at the front entrance there, and the kids would come in the first few days, the first week or 2 weeks. You got to spend time on telling who's in charge of that turf. I would stand in front of that door. Not here, but anyway. The kids would come in and they say good morning. Is this you, Mr. Guerra? Yeah. Good morning. Come in. If a kid come in, you know, doing his pimp walk, 207. Excuse me, young man. Please stand by me. You are Guerra, aren't you? Just go ahead. Another kid will come in. You, Mr. Guerra, 207. And then the kids call him. Okay, all right. You, Mr. Guerra? Yes. Oh, come in. But respect is very important. So I'll be talking to the teachers about having those rules about punctuality, being prepared for class, timeliness, and so on.
Okay, we want to go back to security just for a second here. Do you plan to have security checks, background checks for all our security personnel?
Well, you know, that's Mr. Rogers' department, but I assume, as we all have for the district, that we have some these personnel policies, yes, so absolutely. Also, to enhance the security and the patrol in the hallways and the cafeterias, I'm going to implement the program, and I've got a few parents already involved to bring them on as parent volunteers to help us out in the hallways. They'll be wearing a nice little shirt or jacket that says, you know, parent volunteers on. So if you're available, all right, if you're not filming, Kelly, if you're not filming between time, let me know, come over, you help us out, right?
I'll throw the
But really,
last.
seriously, anybody that would like to participate, I know I spoke to you today, right? So what was his name again? David. He's willing to come in and help us out. It takes a whole village to take care of this tribe. And it ain't about colors. It's about getting the job done, whatever it takes.
Okay, how about locker searches for our students?
Yeah, locker searches. You know, I went to a restaurant. It's called a Paragon, a Greek place. Great chicken, by the way. Great chicken, poor girl, whatever. It's great. Anyway, and I talked to two of the young ladies. Says, "Listen, are you in college?" Or I said, "No, we're in high school." I said, "Oh, which one?" Like, when then she got one. Well, hey, listen, let me ask you. You heard you get who's your new princess? I don't know, some Latino guy. Oh, really? Okay. Listen, what things are you going to tell them to fix? And I said, before you answer, and what teachers are bad, by the way, I said to them, but before you answer, I said, please take a few orders out there and come back. But don't give me teachers then that make you work. I want you to, that if you had a child, you would say, I don't want that child in that class because Guerra is not the right kind of teacher for it. You know what I mean? So she came back a few minutes later, and you know, I was very pleased. They didn't give me any bad names about teachers. It confirms my my conviction that the teaching staff is there. We just need to rechannel, refocus, whatever. They did say about the drugs. It says the drugs are being sold there. Sometimes they keep them in their lockers, whatever. I said, well, thanks a lot. Listen, I'm the new principal. He said, oh my God. So I do believe in locker searches. I already talked to, I met with the mayor, Mr. Hyde, excellent gentleman. I talked to Mr. Vukovic. Yeah. And I said, listen, if we ever need some perros, you know, we're bulldog country, but I need some canine units down the hallway trying to sniff out those lockers. He says, yeah, just let me know. So yeah, locker search, absolutely.
Okay, you stated you have a reputation of firing bad apples among your teaching staff. However, we do have a union here. How do you propose to get around that issue?
Again, misquoted, never said apples. I mentioned teachers that are not doing their job, that are cruising towards retirement. Yeah, we had the union in Chicago. The union, I'm sure the union used to have my picture up there with darts, and they had to get a few copies of it. But I do want to work with the union towards the end. We did work with the union in a very congenial manner about, hey, listen, I've got a problem with, they happen to be a music teacher, by the way. And between the union, this gentleman, and we worked out a deal that the guy decided to take a job somewhere else because he was not doing the right job. So with the union, we'll talk, because I don't believe in doing paperwork. The union will send me a letter, and then I got to send it back to you, and it's like, I hate effortless waste of time like that. All right, sit with the union and say, look, so-and-so is not doing the job. Here's the memos that I've sent. I visited her. She's not doing the job. What do you think we should do? And then we'll take it from there. So I'm not here to fight the unions. I'm here to make the union easier. And I'm sure she'll be on the same page.
All right, in order to support your new vision of all of our children going to college, how do you propose to change the attitude of teachers and support staff who believe that some of our current students can't succeed?
Thank you. Yeah, I met with the entire staff for the 9th grade center and the high school center about 4 weeks before I started July 1st. And one of my goals was that message was, look, when you teach special ed, up the standards. I don't want to walk in there just seeing 2 plus 2, you know what I'm saying? Up the standards. If you're teaching special ed, teach them at the regular program. If you're teaching the regular program students, teach them at the college level. If you teach them to the advanced classes, teach them at the master's degree level. Because kids perform once you set standards and benchmarks for it. Remember those teachers that you had that they never demanded productivity from you? And those that made you work, you still remember, don't you? So, the mentality of the teachers, the administration, the deans of instruction has to change, yes.
Every year we have various assemblies on to support culture diversity within the school district, and usually they're at the detriment of, they're promoting one cultural entity and then they're detrimenting the others. What is your stance on that?
Yeah, my conviction is that we have to celebrate from Lincoln to Dr. King and Cinco de Mayo. Absolutely. We're getting ready for the Mexican Independence Day. I'm planning to have a nice, beautiful assembly with mariachis, with the poems about the background. We plan the same thing for Black History Month, Lincoln's birthday, and so on. So I believe, and by the way, one of the things that attracted me to come here from Chicago was the diversity of the student body. At Farragut was like 93–94% Hispanic, mainly Mexican, and about 6–7% Caucasian. But here's so diverse, about 65% Hispanic, 20% or so African American, about 10–15% Caucasian, and that's very enticing to me. That's one of the reasons why I came into it. So everybody, like I said, diplomas got no colors. We celebrate all the assemblies and so on. I was asking, as a matter of fact, today the orchestra director, I says, hey, do we have a parade down here with this Black History Month, or do we have the Mexican month? Never heard of it. With so many Latinos here, we've got to have something like that. So I'm going to research that, see what we can do.
Okay, I guess the issue with that is when you have your African American History Month, you have your Latino American Month, you forget about, you're only focusing on that one specific ethnicity, whereas we should be celebrating just being Americans and being humans. And I guess that is more of the issue. So how are you going to address that so that when you do have these different events, because yes, we do want to recognize them, but we don't want to do it to the point to where you're demoralizing the other ethnic groups.
Yeah, great point, but I don't think you heard me right. I mentioned 3 leaders, didn't I? I mentioned Abraham Lincoln, and I believe it's Caucasian, but anyway. So my answer is, yeah, we have to help everybody. Not help, celebrate everybody's ethnicity. We plan to have culture events from all the diverse groups and so on. We work with everybody. We do not exclude anybody.